Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to be priming with the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. Don't need a lot, just a little all over. And while I'm priming, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids as well. This is the e.l.f. Eyelid Primer. If you hear me sniffing, it's because there's something pollinating that my body doesn't like, and it's giving me a runny nose. And it's irritating from this end as well, so I'm sorry if that's irritating to listen to. Okay, so for foundation, I'm going to use the same Mayron, let's see, cream blend stick, and what color is this in? It is in Moonlight White. It is very, very pale blue. I don't even know if you can really see the exact color of it, but you'll see when it goes on. It looks quite white, almost. But I find that as long as I blend it out with a damp beauty sponge, like this, that it actually leaves a much more natural finish than you would think. And I know you're supposed to do more of a bouncing motion than your sweeping motion like I'm doing right now, but I do find that for this particular color, at least, that really does help it kind of blend into my actual skin and look more natural. This is not exactly your everyday typical look that we're doing here. Okay, so that's the sort of foundation. I'm going to be setting my foundation with a mineral cosmetic powder. It's a very, again, very pale blue color. It's by StudioDirectCosmetics.com. So I'm just going to take a foundation brush. And I'm sorry, I don't know the names or numbers of most of my brushes. I know that's something people like to know generally, but mine have mostly just sort of randomly accrued over the years. I do have a couple that I know what they are, but for the most part, they don't even have names or labels on them, so I'm sorry I can't give you more information about my brushes. Now, I've worn this this blue powder just over my bare skin because it's supposed to be a correcting eye color corrector, and I tried it once just putting it all over my bare skin and my face just to kind of see what it looked like, and it actually looked really quite natural and gave me this really beautiful sort of very pale but flawless sort of appearance. I guess it just, the blue in it really helped cancel out any, you know, orange and redness that I had in my skin, so it gave me this sort of like almost Victorian-y pale but beautiful skin. So if you want to become a beautiful pale Victorian girl, then you could use that powder for that as well. So I'm going to use a concealer brush, and this is one of the ones that I know. It is the BH Cosmetics V7, and I believe it stands for their vegan, the V. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more where I need a little bit extra coverage. So like under my eyes, which I know seems kind of funny since a lot of times your under eyes are kind of blue, but I don't know, for some reason this just works for me. And like I said before, this is going to be a more sort of natural, wearable, all blue makeup look, just to kind of show you a couple different things, since I did a much more like fashion-y, editorial, not so wearable look for my photos. You guys can skip doing like blue foundation if you want when you're doing it. That is not a requirement. I love BH Cosmetics. I have to say their stuff is so affordable, but it's really high quality, and I've been very impressed with everything that I've bought from them. I have several of these large eyeshadow palettes. You'll probably see me pull a couple of them out today. This one is the Essential Eyes 28 color eyeshadow palette. I'm going to start at least with this shade here. It's a very gray blue, very slight blue, almost more gray, but yeah, there is blue in there. Just wanted to make sure. I'm going to be trying to use this for the contour, and I'm going to see how it looks. I like that, yeah. Okay, that'll work. Personally, myself, I don't like a real heavy contour on myself. I think it looks wonderful on other people, but for me personally, I find it can look a bit much, so I tend to keep it on the sort of lighter and more natural side as I'm covering myself with only shades of blue and talking about being natural looking. Blush next. I do allow for this challenge, since I'm making up the rules, I do allow shades of blue, teal, purple, anything in that family, because to me they're sort of, you know, like the children of blue, because they all have blue in them. In this challenge, blue, green, purple, teal, it's all good. So this is another BH Cosmetics palette. This is the Smoky Eyes 28 color eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to be using, I think, this color here for my blush. Actually, I'm going to do a combination. I'm going to do a combination of this color here and this purple here. Oh, this is another BH Cosmetics brush. This is the V3. Very soft brush. This is the first time I'm using it. That's a little bit much there, but we'll blend that out. When one side looks better than the other. It's so annoying. Okay. Let's just kind of blend this sucker down a little bit. I am going to go into yet another BH Cosmetics palette. These are the Modern Mattes 28 color eyeshadow palette. I'm going to start off with this really pretty sort of cornflower blue color as kind of like a transition color. Okay, and this is another BH brush. This is the 24. And a lot of these colors, it's the first time I'm using them, so like there, that was a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. That's okay. We can just blend, blend, blend. I'm not going to go too crazy with the eye look here, both because, as I said, I wanted to keep it a little more natural and wearable, and also because I'm just exhausted today. I did not sleep well last night at all, and having Emmy, you're tired all the time anyway, and if you don't sleep, that just makes it 100 times worse. So we're going to keep things a little bit on the simpler side. From the same palette, I'm going to take this shadow here, very pretty teal color, and this is another unknown brush. I'm going to clean this brush off real quick. I'm going to be moving into the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette, and I'll warn you, it's looking a little messy inside, so don't judge me, okay? But I'm going to take this color here, Princess, which is a very pretty light, kind of lavender color, I would call it, but it's got a little bit of shimmer to it, which is what I want. And we're going to be putting that right over the lid. Alright, so we got that over the lid, very nice and pale, but just a little bit of shimmer. And we're going to move on to the Too Faced Nikki Tutorials makeup palette collaboration. Why was that so hard to say? I don't know. But we're going to be dipping into this beautiful, very pale and very shimmery, sort of icy blue color called Frosted Yum, which sounds like it should be delicious, but probably would not taste good. I don't recommend that you taste your makeup, just as a general rule. And I'm going to be adding that to the brow bone. I feel like I need just a little bit more depth though. I'm going to move over to the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette, which is, oh, I love it so much. Oh, sorry, I'm going to be using this, I would call it more of a blue than a teal, but it does have a little bit of a green in it, called Swallow. And I'm going to use the same chiseled brush, just get a tiny bit on my brush, and just deepen the crease a little bit more. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. So now let's go to the lower lash line. I'm going to use this kind of pencil brush from, again, our good friend BH Cosmetics. I'm going to start again with Princess, that beautiful shimmery lavender shade. And I'm going to kind of sweep this all the way under the eye. Makeup really is an art. There's no wrong way or right way to do it. You can change your mind as you go. I really like makeup, even though unfortunately on a lot of days I don't have the physical or mental energy to expend on putting makeup on and then especially taking it off again later. But God, I really love putting it on when I do have the chance. Especially when I get to play with such beautiful, beautiful colors like these Jeffree Star ones and the BH Cosmetics and Nikki Tutorials and Too Faced. Oh my God, they're just all so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to real quick switch back to the Smoky Eyes palette. Excuse me, I have like a whole team of frogs in my throat today, like a whole swamp of them, and just decided to set up camp in there for some reason. I'm going to clean this little brush off again, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of this purple color here. There, and you can kind of see it. You can see it's actually quite shimmery, almost a glitter, I would call it, but like a very finely milled glitter. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that, and I'm going to put that over the lid. Again, to bring a little bit more variation in color, and I just feel like I want it to be a little bit darker now. So I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush and just kind of go over that. Make sure everything is nicely blended. I'm going to take my Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, which is my favorite one ever. I'm going to pick up on this fluffy brush, I'm going to pick up some purple horseshoe, and I'm going to sweep that just kind of over the real center of my eyelid, just to bring a little more light in. Now for eyebrows, I'll leave my eyes alone for a minute and see when I come back to them if I still feel like they're good, or if, you know, after I take a break from looking at them, if I notice something that I want to change. That's what I do a lot when I edit photos too. There's a lot of just sort of waiting around and coming back to things later and seeing what stands out to you after you've had a break from looking at it. So I'm gonna do the same thing. We're going back to the Essential Eyes, and I'm going to be dipping back into that same, oh god, what color was it? I guess it doesn't matter if it's the exact same one, but I think it was this color that we used before, the really gray blue, and I'm going to be using that on my eyebrows. This is my favorite eyebrow brush. Oh, and this is actually by Smashbox. It has a name on it. I don't know anything else about it, but at least we have a brand. It's dual-ended. It's really nice. It has this kind of thicker, kind of chisel-y, very stiff brush end, and then a straight chiseled end on the other, as you can tell. This is only my second time ever applying makeup on camera, so I'm trying really hard to not block you guys from being able to see what I'm doing. But if I do, I apologize. I think it's a skill that you have to learn, and I'm just a baby at it. So please be nice. Please go easy on me. Oh my god, I almost forgot to use this. This is the BH Cosmetics 18 Color Baked Eyeshadow Palette. It's called Supernova. And just look at how pretty it is. Oh my goodness. Look at those shimmery colors. I'm gonna take this really pretty blue called Nova here. I'm just gonna use my finger and pat just a little bit to like the very, very center of the eye. I don't know how that's translating on camera, but I'm very happy with how it looks in person. Hopefully you guys can see though. I have another BH Cosmetics palette. This is the Backlight Highlight 6-color palette, and it actually kind of reminds me of the Anastasia palette. Really nice colors, really big pans. I'm going to be dipping into this blue color here, which is called Queen. Here is my BH Cosmetics 11 brush, which I believe is for highlighting. Oh yeah, that works. Swap over to a smaller brush. I'm just going to grab the brush that I was using for concealing earlier because it'll work just fine. to my fluffy brush, I'm going to just bring the highlight up a little, kind of in a C shape around my eye, just because I want to. And I think it's very pretty and ethereal. And there are a few things in my life that I strive for more than to look ethereal. So if you think I look ethereal, give it a thumbs up. That will make my day. Okay, I don't think there's really any other place that we can put highlight. Oh no, it's wrong. A little on the jawline. Eyeliner. Now it's the Jordana Easy Liner for eyes, in case you were confused. And it's in the color Blackest Blue, which is really what I wanted. I wanted something, I mean, I basically wanted a black eyeliner, but for the challenge, I needed to have something that still had some blue in it, so this fits the bill. 100% sold on this eyeliner. I mean, it works, it gets the job done, but it could be darker, it could be a little bit more pigmented in my opinion, so, you know, just keep that in mind. Move on to mascara, and this is the CoverGirl Exact Eye Lights, and the color is Black Sapphire, so it does have a little bit of blue in it as well, kind of like the eyeliner. Put on false lashes. It takes enough energy out of me just to put makeup on. I'm not gonna try and do lashes too. But if you want to, you go right ahead. I'm going to take the Lime Crime Diamond Crushers and Trip, which is this really awesome, super sparkly blue color. And I'm just gonna lay that over my bare lips and see how that looks. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And are you going to try this challenge? I would love it if you did. Please do. I will thank you forever. So much for watching and for supporting me and supporting my Go Blue for Emmy campaign. I really hope that you will join in. This is a incredibly needed and worthy cause. Everybody deserves to have a happy, healthy life. Most people in the world don't know that Emmy exists. We need to change that. The more people who know that it exists, that it's real, that it's a valid disease, the better. And you can help with this. You can help with this. Do an all blue look like this. Do your own spin on it. Do an all blue look that is something that you want to wear. I also have on my blog, which I'll link down below, you can find profile pictures that you could, switch out on your Facebook account, for example, for a week or a couple days. And also, just as a side note, I want to say that even though I'm concentrating on talking about ME because that's what I have, all of these invisible illnesses, Crohn's disease, chronic pain. Lupus is another big one, multiple sclerosis. I mean, even diabetes. You might not necessarily be able to look at somebody and tell that they have it. They all need to be validated and respected as real diseases and illnesses. For me, for everybody else who is suffering in silence, please do something to spread awareness. If we don't do anything, nothing's gonna change. But the good thing is that if we all do something, even a really little something, that would make an enormous amount of difference, and we could see some actual real change, which would be amazing. I'll just leave it at that, or else I'll start to cry. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your help. And if you go and create one of these looks, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.